Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidgoldd, as you all know. Now, welcome to Kope Radio and Television Station. I say make a rush, sharp, can't do this before for now. Fashola, the minister of house works and waiting they call. I don't want to mention and finish. They don't interview this man. This man don't come defend APC. In fact, in short, he defend Tinubu. In talk say the election will happen, say now by their preparation, by their arrangement, now they take with this election. In fact, he also talk say their own as old men, their time don't pass. Say make they allow the young one, make they take charge. Now, but the problem is say he don't talk say even the win wey they win say na the backup of the youth na they take win this election. E shock you, abi? I don't know say e go shock you too, but watch this video make you hear wetin this man talk. As I see am, I say make I give my people, make my fans take hear this update sharp kpa. Watch am make you see am.
Well, after 21 years, I think that there must be a time when you say, hey, peace at last.
Well, just before the peace.
And you need younger, fresher minds, really.
Indeed, you are
to run this race now. Yeah. Our opponents to show me what they did with regards to preparation. I think the Nigerian public saw some snippets of what our situation room looked like. Which other party had that kind of situation room? So we had it in 2015, we had it in 2019. I headed it in 2019, and I had the privilege to head it again in 2023. But behind what I headed was a lot of young people, and it was driven by young people. So they just pushed me in front as the leader, go and take the credit. But all of the work was done by young people, using data, using maps, following up, calling agents, training agents. We trained 2,000 agents. 2,000 agents, because we couldn't train 176,846 agents to man all the polling units. So we trained 2,000 agents from all the states, and we sent them back to the states to go and do training to the agents who were deployed state by state. So, and this is instructive. Very, very instructive.
So perhaps it's a video that came out from your team to show that the day that your Bola Tinubu and the rest of the leaders of the party came forward, and perhaps that was the end of their training because listening and watching the video showed that there was some kind of conclusion of training.
Oh, yes.
So these guys were basically those guys who worked under the monitoring and what unit?
That's only just part of it. That's only just part of it. So we then, the people who trained them showed them the difference between the 2010 Electoral Act and what they will see in 2022. So these were the guys, isn't it? Precisely. That was the
What were their roles?
These are people who will act as agents to senators, to House of Rep members, to the presidential candidate himself. But only 2,000 of them were picked from various interest groups across the states. Their responsibility was to go back to their states and train all the others.
How long did it take you to train them?
It was a 2-day training exercise, essentially. It's a crash course. And they go back with materials, training materials, translated in the various languages.
And so your party did it?
We've done this before. So this was what young people did. Some of them came from the United States. They left their work to come and work in this campaign. So that was the beginning. Because on election day, those are the only people at the polling stations you can talk to. Apart from that, so we had a line of sight. So as they went back and they started the training, the governors took ownership, senators took ownership, we were talking to them. And so on election day, if they had any problem, if there was cheating, if there was a problem, equipment was delayed, we had different groups working with established agencies. These were the people who gave us information what was going on. These were the people who sent us results of each of the polling stations. So when I was in the situation room, one photograph that came out in the evening, we knew our result, just as we knew in 2019. So you will also see that there was a report by Yaga Because ahead of the election, there was a beaver simulation held by INEC. They invited all parties. If you go and look at Yeaga's report of attendance, you will see that it is consistent with the way the parties turned out in the election. APC had the largest representation at that mock exercise. And it was part of the preparation by INEC for the results. So preparation. Election is big business. And it is a very, very serious process. There is a process of certifying election managers in the United States. That's how big the business is. I know only one certified election manager in Nigeria. His name is Fuad Oki. I worked with him when I was candidate in 2006. And I learned a lot from him. And he was also involved in this campaign. So there are a lot of people who are now showing interest.
So you had your strategy.
There was a plan.
Perhaps that was the confidence that came out when you were, because a lot of people felt, look, there is only one reason why Fashola can be this confident about their winning when you came on the show. Was that the APC had it up planned, because the feeling out there was that your party has not done enough to deserve a win.
That's what you think.
Why? Those are the reactions.
So let me also tell you, I was optimistic, and those were the words I used, if you play back those tapes. And I did not underrate any opponent. This is a competitive engagement. So, and I'm a sportsman. I don't underrate any opponent, but I prepare very hard. And our team prepared. Our party prepared. The party chairman, the national secretary, members of the national were at that session. That's how seriously they took it. The candidate and his running mate were there. The woman leader was there. So they knew its importance. State chairmen from the various states were there. Governors, El Rufai, Lalong, and a few others were there. This is the foundation of every election, your agents. But quite aside from that, I made some assertions here, and I said that politics was a game of numbers, but numbers have equations, arithmetic equations, addition and multiplication. APC was adding and multiplying.
What do you mean by that?
Some PDP governors, Cross River, Ebonyi, initially Zamfara, had come to join APC. PDP was dividing and subtracting. So the major contenders against us in this election, NMPP, PDP, Labour Party, their candidates were in the same party in 2019. They lost by almost 4 million votes. 3.9 something. So having now divided that inadequate, insufficient ticket into 3, how was it going to add up into an electoral victory? So they handed away the presidential ticket by dividing their powers. Not only did they divide, they now subtracted with the G5 governors. So it was bad mathematics. And I made that point here.
Yeah. There are those who are of the view that APC was understood, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I also learned that you did internal polling in your party.
Precisely.
But you didn't make them public.
No.
Most of which showed that you were going to lose the election.
No.
Was that the case?
We have never published any poll. And I have been polling elections since 2002, when I was chief of staff. Actually, you introduced me to polling in 2002, when he was running his own re-election. That's when I was introduced to polling elections in Nigeria. And since then, not only do we poll elections, we poll for policy decisions in governance. And it was a tool that I used a lot when I was governor. What do the people think? And so, and I came here, and I remember I said to you that all of the polls that had a sample size of 1,000 people, that showed 55 or 50% undecided, not willing to participate, at the time they were either badly conducted polls or they were self-serving polls, especially also when you looked at the methodology. But more importantly, I made the point at the time that people had decided, and that the number of undecided were very, very minimal. So our polls showed in January that we were 10 points ahead. Our polls showed in January that we were 23, we had reached 25% in 23 states out of the 25 we were targeting. And it also showed us states where we were 10, 15, 20%, and states where we considered the battleground states where we were going to target. And in the end, I think we got 29 states. So there was a method to all of what was going on.
And where, I mean, the assertion and where the opposition said, look, where you knew you were going to lose, you introduced intimidation. And you didn't allow voters to come out.
So we knew, for example, that we were going to lose in certain states, and I'm not going to be helpful to the opposition now. And you see, again, some of the things we will learn as we go on, as our democracy evolves, and as the process gets tighter. There are states where you know that you are not going to win. You have never won there. Why are you spending money there?
So you don't hear them. You don't hear them. See, you go shock where they say, make I drop this. Say, I'm a shy shop. I can't say, make I give this update sharp. Make I give a sharp. I say, don't talk now. My people, everything we fast your talk now true. More judge this matter. I want make me and as my fans, as my people they watch, make we judge. Drop your own mindset. I don't talk my own. I don't close mouth. Una bye. Ọmọ ní ìfowóṣe ni.